Howdy guys, it's Commander Clyde once again, and we are here to do a little tier list update. As you all know, patch 10.3, wait, 3.10. I got it backwards. Tricked y'all, didn't I? Anyway, getting into this here, we're going to do a tier list update after the new patch. Not a whole lot of changes to go over, some pretty minor ones, so there's not going to be a whole lot of movement in the different gods on the tier list. First things first, Brat is getting moved because, well, he's apparent. Oh, unranked is up here. Excuse me. Because he's apparently not playable in ranked. Strangely, he wasn't earlier, which is kind of weird, I know. So, he goes right there. Alright, so first, let's place our newest addition, and that is Susanoo. Y'all should be aware of him and how strong he can be in the right hands. And because of this, he is going to go the top end of S minus, not S. And the reason for that is in order to beat the gods up here in S plus and S, he has to be played very well. You have to understand the god quite well to be able to do that. And so someone with average skill is going to be playing down here and could probably beat these gods at S minus and below. But unless you have a good understanding of the character, you're probably going to have a hard time with the S plus and S tier gods. Anyway, the reason he's an S is his damage is quite strong. It's very easy and safe to apply for the most part. Good tricks for auto attack canceling with your teleport you can do. Really cool. And his full combo is very strong and can kill what am I saying? It can kill several different targets very well. Alright. Continuing on, AMC had a slight change. Cooldowns on his hives have been reduced. And I think I've thought about it, he might be a little misplaced actually. Here, while his mobility is quite bad, his ability damage and ability to box with his hives is quite good. So that actually puts him right here in front of Mercury, right behind Nemesis. Nemesis can lock him down pretty easily and do all kinds of horrible things to him, so that's why he loses. He's a little bit better than Mercury because his ultimate can cripple. So it gives Mercury quite a bit of trouble. But because of his lack of mobility, he's still and the difficult amount of time he has with crowd control, he's still behind the S plus gods in my opinion. A lot of small changes. Hoblaw, water spout, mana cost reduced. No change to him though. Let's see here. Yeah, there's not very many changes. I don't think there's really. I guess Cupid. I thought a little more about him and some of his strengths and weaknesses, and I've figured out he is much better than I gave him credit for. So he will go here just behind Susanoo. I still think he's not as valuable because to get a really good amount of damage, his ultimate and his heart and the stun from his heart bomb are fairly easy to avoid. His ultimate is very easy to avoid the damage from if you get the right actives, or you have abilities that allow you to escape from that, which is why I feel like he's a bit weaker. But the attack speed steroid is quite strong. I did not give him enough credit the first time, so he will go to here. And one other change, Osiris, I'm valuing a little bit more. I played him a few times recently, and he seems to be quite a bit stronger than what I gave him credit for. He's very good at locking down different gods. His chase potential is high because of his ability to slow targets. quite well. His damage mitigation is actually extremely strong, and in a 1v1 situation that can make the difference in a fight. So he's actually going to move up quite a bit between Shock and Vamana. Not quite as strong as Vamana, but he's a little bit better than Shock, I think, because of his boxing potential is higher. He's more about his abilities more accentuate, besides his ultimate, more accentuate his auto attacks rather than his abilities being his main form of damage. Should be more valuable. And in the hands of the right player, he can beat some fairly strong gods. Example, one of the videos I had, I fought a Chiron with Osiris and won that quite handily. I did die a few times, but that was only because I got caught staying too long for buffs, and he caught me at low health. Otherwise, I would not have died in those situations. See if there's anybody else who needs to be changed. Raijin got a slight nerf in his damage, but he stays at A. He's still pretty valuable. That has certain matchups that he struggles in, but his damage is quite high, so that makes up for it somewhat. So he stays in A tier. Let's see who else was changed. Besides minor miscellaneous fixes that don't impact gameplay, I think that is about it. Everyone looks like they are where they're supposed to be. Alright, so now that we got that done, next time we do a tier list update will be next patch when they release 3.11, which will very likely happen. And at that point, that will release Fafnir into ranked play, so we will be placing him and Ratatoskr then, and moving any gods as changes might require us to do so. And one last thing, guys, I do now have a Twitter account, and I will use that to put out updates about the channel, videos, and anything else related to that and Smite. You can follow me at Commander Clyde on Twitter, on YouTube. So yeah, and that's going to be Commander_Clyde. And the link to the Twitter page will be in the description of this video. Right, so there's the updated tier list version 1.1, guys. Hope you enjoyed and use the tier list when you're playing Duel. Might help you out in certain matchups, and if you have any things that you think should be changed with the tier list, or just anything else, any other opinion you might have about the gods in the tier list, just let me know, and I will see you guys later.